Another bio episode, you say? Yes. Yes, it is. And this week we learn a little more about Sarsa.
Welcome to Knights of the Roll Table, the bio episodes for Season 2. My name is Chris Daly. I'll be your Dungeon Master and host for this evening.
My name is Weston. I'm your friendly neighborhood firefighter.
Jeez.
And also coach.
My name is Jen, and I have been playing Sarsa in Season 2.
Saxstones, I'll be your Jarek.
And I'm Matt, and I am Celius.
All right, and tonight we are going to focus back on Jen Stopper Crespo.
Hey.
And her new character for Season 2, which
Yeah, you
is
sick of me yet?
Sarsa Demisalt.
Yeah. She's a thing. As all characters are.
She's got hair on her head.
She is a character in this podcast.
I really like to make definitive statements whenever
So, Jen, we talked a little bit about you last time, but
I mean, we can always talk about
we can talk more about you. What was challenging picking a new character? What made you want to play this type of character versus like having played Maya and like being drawn towards a different type of character like Sarsa?
I think obviously, like, as a performer and as a player, you want to do things that are a little bit different. And it's funny because my husband and I have kind of joked that like Maya and Sarsa are like the two sides of my personality, but like they're these very kind of different characters, but they're also still very. I relate to both of them. She reminds me, like, at least when I was first kind of coming up with the character, like, it was basically me at age, like, 23. Just kind of boozing all the time and yep.
Smacking people with mace.
Is that about when we met?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's about when we met. When I started at the old National Comedy Theater.
Yeah.
Still figuring out who I was and, yeah, drinking a lot.
That's fine.
Is it? Just kidding.
So, Sarsa is a Tiefling Tempest cleric. Mm-hmm. She had a bit of a sordid past.
A little bit, yeah.
Which you sent me a very
There's
great,
a bit of a
great
diatribe.
document. No, it was good. It was a lot of really good stuff, and you don't have to go into all of that.
Oh.
But what would you like to share about your backstory?
I mean, I can give you the Cliff Notes version
Yeah.
as best as I can. So she had parents, as most people do, but mom,
Very factual character.
yeah, but mom did not survive childbirth, and that kind of sent dad spiraling, and so she wound up in an orphanage. And while she was cared for, she watched every other kid get adopted, and she kind of, I think at that point, realized that like ain't nobody imagined a happy ending that involved a tiefling in it. And so she kind of, I think, holds a chip on her shoulder about who she is and what she is because of that. And so when she went off into the world, she kind of overcompensated. Like, I think she still carries, like, she thinks of herself as a little bit less than because of that. But she overcompensates and kind of talks a big game to kind of balance that out. And
Was
so
the story that you told in the gelatinous moose episode that your backstory?
Started, and then I realized I was like, this is just depressing. So kind of
and then there was a witch, and
I realized I was like, there's no real arc or end to this story. So I was like, I need to make this character a hero and somehow have it be all worthwhile.
And then she met a gelatinous moose. The end.
And they're best friends.
Yeah, basically.
You let
But
her
I
live.
think really what has kind of driven her is that she's kind of felt rejected a lot. And I like when I was thinking about, okay, what kind of a person would be driven to want to take on that kind of sailor, she has that adventurous streak, and she likes the openness of being out on the open ocean and stuff. But also ultimately when you're a sailor, like, you have your crew. like that is your life. Life or death is your crew. You support your teammates. And so for her, she kind of, once she first got commissioned to come onto a ship, it was the first time that she really was treated like a valued person and like an equal, and found that kind of camaraderie. And so I think in a lot of the choices that she'd made, whether she would ever actually admit it, that's kind of what she's sought out. And like I think that's kind of why she, like once she kind of found her first adventuring party, which included Cobbles and Jarek, it was like, oh, I've got a crew. And like, so that's why, like, whether she'll, like, as much as she really kind of busts Jarek's balls, as much as she gives Jarek a hard time, like, he's family. Like, that's my crew. So, like, she'll get pissed off at him, but if you mess with him, like, she's gonna come for you. And like, Cobbles, his passing was like, that was rough. And so she does take rejection pretty hard.
Yeah.
And kind of self-medicates through alcohol. That was the Cliff Notes version too.
Sure.
It was definitely a lengthy email.
That's okay. One thing you sent me was she met around 16 a Captain Remy Levi, a charming smuggler who took her under his wing, and then for a couple of years kind of taught her about the life at sea, about being a sailor, and also taught her about saloon.
Which
kind of got her into cleric life. #cleric life.
#cleric.
And he said, you wrote this quote down, who needs a home when you have a compass?
Yeah.
And it said they became off and on again lovers, and a mix of respect, trust, and convenience. And then eventually he kind of left and had a family. And
Well, she kind of, like, he wound up settling down, and I think she kind of took that to heart too. Again, a rejection, but always kind of has a bit of a, she wears her little saloon medallion and compass around her neck, and that was a gift from him, because, you know, doesn't really matter as long as you know where you're going.
Yeah. What I like about Sarsa is as a cleric, I mean, she's not, like, you can play a cleric that's extremely devout. You're playing her in a way that's very free thinking and very loose and
Well, if you know, so Saloon, one of the reasons why I picked Saloon, well, first of all, I'm just obsessed with the moon, and she's kind of a goddess of the moon, but also, like, she is the patron goddess of lycanthropes, werewolves. And so for Sarsa, she's somebody that's kind of struggled with her identity. She kind of sees her tieflingness as like, I'm a monster. And so I think in her eyes, it's like, if this God can accept monsters, like, they can accept me too, you know? And it's kind of finding that fairness in chaos and the temperateness of the sea and the moon and the changing of the tides, but somehow or another it all kind of evens out. I haven't given this any thought at all, but again, it was like a 10-paragraph email that Chris got.
I liked it. So what scene do you see us playing in her backstory?
I don't know. I think it would be cool to see some of her sailor days, and like either like maybe that first kind of time being a part of a crew on the ship, or when he leaves. That might be a good moment too, because that was the first time that she ever got to become a captain of her own ship. Was when it was heartbreaking, but also kind of bittersweet because she got to assume that leadership position because he left it to her.
Okay. We'll say Captain Levi has called a little meeting on the deck of, what was the name of the ship?
That's in my
anybody?
notes. Yep, I didn't put that in my notes. It can be the Vagrant Wasp.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, the Vagrant Wasp. Okay. So the crew
I'm really
of the
good at
Vagrant
naming
Wasp.
ships, you guys.
And what was, Captain Levi was a human?
Yes.
Okay.
She hasn't really historically dated tieflings, and that so she really has her guard up, especially with Cole too.
Sure. I imagine so. All right. So Captain Levi calls a meeting of the crew, Remy. You all say Captain Levi, but you kind of know him as Remy. Sarsa does. But professionally, you know, you respect him as well.
All right, Captain, on deck.
Captain, you know we're supposed to be. We have orders. But we're not going to make our heading if we're stopping here right now.
I know that,
You've slowed us
Sarsa.
down,
I know
Remy.
that. I know that. Listen, you blokes. I've got something important to say to you.
Something important to say.
Yes.
Someone shoot that dying bird.
Hey,
I'm an Aarakocra.
That's right. We found Zephyr just as much as I found the rest of you. Thank you, Zephyr. He's
course.
the best lookout that I've had in years. That's right. Now
Sorry,
listen.
Captain calls us all pets. We're his crew, his loyal crew.
What you
We'll
got
do
to
whatever
say?
he says.
What you got to say, Captain?
Well, Squeaky, what I've got to say is... what I've got to say is... It's kind of hard for me to admit, but I've been getting on in my years, and I feel
You
like
still
I've...
look great, Captain.
Oh, thank you, love. But,
You look great.
well, we've had a couple of weeks of shore leave, and I met a woman.
Oh, you did you? That sounds
No,
right.
well, well, we're...
Wink, wink. Yeah, you met a woman. Yeah, very nice. Very
It's
nice.
not like that,
Captain.
boys.
Captain.
It's not like that, boys. It's
sounds like
I
it's
mean of making an honest living with her and settling down here, and
Is she
Set-
rich?
setting my anchor. Hey, now, Squeaky, come on, now you know me better than that. I'm an
setting your
honest
anchor,
man.
all right.
I mean, listen, I know Clawport is not a place that you might want to have permanently, but well, listen, I want to settle down, and I'm giving the captain seat over to Sarsa.
Ca-
She's earned it. You've earned it. And you are the most experienced out of everybody here, and I trust you with my ship, and with all of me crew. And I think you all will do a fine job under the new leadership of Sarsa.
Captain, permission to speak freely.
Granted.
Right.
Of course.
Remy, what in blazes? You're just going to set up shop in port and just stay there forever?
This got awkward.
Sarsa, come over here, please. Rest of you, swab that deck over there.
Oh, yes,
Get
sir.
on it.
Yes, sir,
Come
Captain,
on.
sir.
Throw that.
Do
Pick
we
up all
listen-
these feathers.
Do we listen to him or do we listen
Bulba,
to...
make sure they do that.
Yeah. Do it.
All right. Sarsa, come over here, please.
Captain, you
Listen,
couldn't have at least warned me ahead of time. And
I'm
who's
sorry,
this
I
Carol?
wanted it- I wanted
she's
it
a
to be
human,
fair.
ain't she?
Well, she is. I mean, she's...
I bet she's
Listen.
real soft
Oh,
and pretty.
now stop that, Sarsa. You know me better than that.
Well, it ain't fair. You didn't even warn me.
Listen, it's been a couple of months. Nothing's happened
A
with
couple
us.
of months.
I mean, you and I wanted to make it professional, and I want to respect your growth as a seafaring person, and you got real talent, and your connection with Saloon it's like nothing I've ever seen before.
Aye.
You got something in you, Sarsa, and believe in the sea. You're not gonna. You're only gonna find it if you're out here, where life is really living. I'm done with all that.
Well, I suppose you'll be wanting your medallion back then.
Nay, keep it. It's yours. You
sure?
earned it.
But you know, there's always a spot for you on my crew, on my ship.
Well, maybe
I get my own ship.
if things don't work out with my wife, I'll come back as a cabin boy and I'll clean up.
I'll make you swab the poop deck.
Okay, I'm sure you will, but I don't know what that means. But
But there's an actual
yes,
deck.
I know. I figured you're speaking in metaphor. But
Jen's been researching pirate terms.
It's grand terms.
both
Just the
terms.
one.
Yeah, just
Any chance to say poop, I'm a happy woman.
listen. For what it's worth, you taught me a lot as well, and I hope that your time on the sea is a good one. But don't forget that you got to be true to yourself. And I see you being hesitant about doing things, trying things, and you're never going to know unless you jump into it.
Right.
And trust people every once in a while, Sarsa.
I trust people.
You don't.
Well, because people do things like leave me for plump women in seaport
Oh, she's
towns.
not that plump. Come on now. She's a good lass. And listen, Bulba, Squeaky, Zephyr.
Hey, Captain,
oh
my
no,
bags are all packed.
I'm just mentioning.
I'm ready to go
I
and move in
mentioned
with our
your
new lady love, and hope there's room. But if I
Bulba?
need to sleep on the floor, I can, and I can
Bulba?
What a weirdo.
sleep in
You swabs. You're right, trash. All right, you lot, you need to go squab the decks, and then I want you to bring up the jig, and you're gonna take the port
And
mast.
Aye, Captain.
You
we'll
turn-
get right
you
on
turn
it.
Hoist
around.
it to the starboard side.
you turn around and Remy is gone.
Oh, I guess I'll just stay here then.
New captain on deck.
All right.
All right, you swabs, respect the captain. Let's go swab the decks and pull the jigs.
We'll let him take one of the little rowboats out. Give him a dinghy. As for the rest of you, eyes on the horizon.
Yo ho!
Oh, violence out for me.
Cookie the cook pokes his head out and said, "What did I miss? What did I miss? We're having oatmeal for dinner."
Fix me a whiskey sour.
You got it, Captain.
That was the first time
And
she
that's when
drank.
she started drinking.
The end. Sarsa's life begins.
Oh, buddy.